Hey everyone and welcome back. So, is the tissues chapter feeling a bit confusing? Don't you worry. Today we're going to break down all the important concepts of plant and animal tissues, making them super easy, especially from an exam point of view. All right, let's jump right in.
So first things first, let's solve this mystery. What exactly are tissues? I mean, we all know that our bodies and plant bodies are made up of millions and billions of tiny cells. But think about it. Do all these cells just work on their own? Nope, not at all.
And here's the key idea. When a bunch of cells that look similar and do the same job get together and form a team, well, that team is what we call a tissue. Think of them as specialized work crews in the body. One team might be for protection, another one's for movement. It's all about teamwork, isn't it?
Okay, let's move on and take a trip into the world of plants first. For your exams, you just need to remember this. Plants mainly have two super teams, or in other words, two main types of tissues. So what are they? Let's find out.
Wow, okay, look at this. This chart is basically the roadmap for the entire chapter. You see, plant tissues have two main branches. One is the growth tissue, which we call meristematic, and the other is permanent tissue. And then, permanent tissue itself splits into simple and complex. So let's just follow this roadmap step by step.
First up is the growth team, the meristematic tissue. And just like its name, its job is to help the plant grow. It's got three main players: apical, which increases the plant's height and is found at the tip of the stem and root. Then there's intercalary, at the base of the leaves. And finally, lateral, which increases the plant's width, its girth.
Now, imagine this. What happens when the cells of the growth tissue mature and they lose their ability to divide? Well, that's when they become permanent tissues. These also come in two types: simple, where all the cells are of the same type, and complex, which is like a mixed team of different types of cells.
This table right here is the perfect cheat sheet for your revision. For simple tissues, just remember these three names. Parenchyma is like the plant's pantry. It stores food. Parenchyma is the plant's yoga instructor, giving it flexibility. And the most important one, sclerenchyma. This is the plant's armor. Its cells are dead, and it gives the plant rock-solid hardness, like the hard shell of a coconut.
Now for the complex tissues. Think of these as the plant's super-efficient courier service. They have two departments: Xylem, which transports gel or water from the roots all the way up to the leaves, and Phloem, which delivers fall or food from the leaves to every other part of the plant. And here's a cool fact. Xylem flow is a one-way street, from bottom to top. But Phloem, that's two-way traffic.
All right, so the tour of the plant kingdom is complete. But what about us? How are animal bodies built? Well, the game is a little different here. We have four main pillars, or four main types of tissues that handle absolutely everything.
And here they are, the four pillars. First, we have epithelial tissue, which is all about covering and protection. Second is connective tissue, whose job is to, connect things and give support. Third is muscular tissue, responsible for all movement. And fourth, we have nervous tissue, the body's communication network.
Let's break down their jobs with some really easy examples. Epithelial tissue is the body's protective cover, just like our skin. Connective tissue is like the body's glue. Think of bone giving structure or blood connecting everything. Muscular tissue is the body's engine, moving our arms, legs, and even our heart. And nervous tissue, that's the body's internet, sending and receiving signals from the brain.
Okay, so the theory should be crystal clear now. But it's time to put that knowledge to the test. Let's solve a few important multiple-choice questions that often show up in exams. You ready for the challenge?
First question is on your screen. Which of these tissues has dead cells? You've got about 3 seconds. Think about it. 1, 2, 3.
And the correct answer is B, sclerenchyma. Remember we called it the plant's armor? This is the tissue that gives plants their hardness and strength, all because its cells are dead and its walls are thick.
Okay, next question. The thickness or girth of a tree's stem increases because of which tissue? Take a close look at the options.
The correct answer is option B, lateral meristem. Here's a simple trick. Lateral literally means on the side, so the tissue that grows sideways is the one that's going to increase the width. Apical meristem only increases the height.
All right, let's try an animal tissue question now. Which connective tissue is it that joins our muscles to our bones? This is a very common question, so pay close attention.
The right answer is B, tendons. And here's a super trick so you never forget this. Just remember MTB. Muscle is connected to bone by tendon. Simple. And just as a bonus, remember that ligaments connect bone to bone.
Last practice question for today. What is the functional unit of nervous tissue? In other words, what's the main basic cell that does all the communication?
And the answer is, of course, C, neuron. The neuron is that special cell that sends messages from one part of our body to another in the form of electrical signals. Axons and dendrites are just parts of it, but the main unit itself is the neuron.
So now you really understand the building blocks that are tissues. But have you ever stopped to wonder, how do all these different tissue teams work together to build something as incredibly complex as a human heart, or even a single leaf? That's the next level of organization in biology. If you found this explainer helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and let me know in the comments what topic you want to understand this easily.